Hey YouTube community, it's Terry, I'm back. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about some video games today. I know with Resident Evil 9 Requiem coming out, let's talk about some Resident Evil. So like I said, my favorite game in the Resident Evil series is probably, storyline wise, would be Code Veronica. Code Veronica was one of those interesting games because a lot of people knows that Resident Evil Code Veronica was actually supposed to be Resident Evil 3, but because Sony had this weird deal where they wanted 3 games out before the PlayStation 2 came out, they hurry up and rushed the development on it, and they switched Resident Evil Nemesis to 3 and moved it over, and they turned Resident Evil into Code Veronica into, it's been a side quest game, like using Chris and Claire, which I hate Claire. She's my least favorite female in the series. I would say Jill is my favorite, and then I would like Rebecca right behind her, even though Rebecca's not badass at all. She's just smart. But yeah, I tend to like Jill because she's a badass. Um, and for some reason, her and Chris should be together, and they're not, and it's a weird thing. But um, I always love Resident Evil 1 because it's the game that made me fall in love with the series. But Code Veronica is the one you look at storyline wise with the Asher twins and like just the history of the um, the T virus and all that other stuff. It's interesting. Um, and then the Asher twins was just the most evil little fucks in the world. You just want to shoot no matter what. Ashford and Alexia, but for some reason I really did like the name Alexia. Don't know why. But I would say my next favorite Resident Evil game after being storyline wise after 1 and Code Veronica would probably be Resident Evil 3, because Nemesis was a badass too. And then I liked Resident Evil 2, would be the one after that. Um, I liked Resident Evil 5, and a lot of people said the game was racist because it took place in Africa, but it's not really racist because there's zombie. There's been every type of zombie in the game. Like Resident Evil 1 was more like white people. Resident Evil 6 was Asia and like China, most likely. It was mostly Asian characters turned into zombies. Um, Resident Evil 3 or 5 was just, it had a mix of black people, Arab people, white people. Um, it was just, it's one of those things you gotta tread lightly on because race is still not in the greatest shape in the world today. But it's getting, it's just one of those things. But I enjoyed 5 and 6. It's just 6 was like they tried to give everyone everything they wanted, and they overloaded it, and the game flopped. Even though it made a shit ton of money, it flopped when it came to reviews. And it wasn't a terrible game. It was just there's too much to do. They loaded the game, and you had stuff you had to do with Leon and the chick he was with. Then you had Chris and Pierce. Then you had Sherry and Jake. And then you had Ada. So it was just a really bloated game. So when they remake 5 and 6, like, they need to clean up 5 a lot on the weapon system and stuff like that. And 6, they need to cut it down a little bit. I would probably cut Ada's missions from the game altogether and just leave it Sherry, Jake, Pierce, Chris, and then Leon and the chick he was with is the easiest way to do it. Give it three different people, like three different things you can start from. That'd be a little bit easier on your time too. But Resident Evil is just one of those games that's really interesting, and there's like a million viruses. Like Resident Evil 1's the T virus, Resident Evil 2 is the G virus or the Golgotha virus. Resident Evil 3 is the parasite, the anti-alpha parasite with the virus, and then Resident Evil 4 is the parasites, Los Plagas. Resident Evil 5 is the Plagas still, and Resident Evil 6 is back to zombies. Resident Evil 7 is the mold. Resident Evil 8 is the mold. Resident Evil 9 is the mold mixed with the virus. So I'm waiting to see what the whole Resident Evil 9 is going to be about. I can't wait to play as Leon and cut some people in half with a chainsaw. That's going to be fun. And like I said, I'm betting Wesker's in the game. I'm betting he's the main baddie because he never died. They never showed him dying. And it's one of those things that's really been debated over the years. Like, people didn't know if he's really been dead or not. So we'll find out. I think he'd be the perfect person to have behind the scenes in this game. But I love you guys. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and comment. Thank you guys so much. You guys have made this really fun for me, and I love you guys. See you later.